Yeah, that's right, baby. We moving to Kansas City this season. I'm hyped. All those German coaches probably never even heard of Kansas before, and they ain't even know Kansas City ain't even in Kansas. Okay? Next question.
Coach Mayo, the fans want to know, have you ever washed that bucket hat?
Look, this is my good luck PWC bucket hat, alright? Of course I never washed it, alright? We'll wash this bucket hat once we win the PWC championship, okay? New season of Pokemon Draft League. It's the Pokemon World Circuit PWC Season 10. You know what this is. We got a new team for a new season. We're going to go over it here in this video. The PWC is back for its 10th season, and it's back bigger and better than ever. We got 4 different Wi-Fi divisions. We're once again up here in the top flight. Showdown divisions. We're up here in the top flight showdown division. We even have one Wi-Fi division over here. So there's a lot of great coaches in PWC this season, and also some great content creators other than myself. So I'll be sure to include a link down in the description. You can feel free to join if you are at all interested. If you don't know, the thing that makes PWC unique from a lot of other Pokemon draft leagues is the signature Pokemon rule. Signature Pokemon has to come to every single battle. It has to be a low tier, 8 points or below, and it's also going to be the Terra Captain. It's the only Pokemon that can terrestrialize into any type. Alright, let's see. My first season of PWC was Season 5, about 3 years ago now. We had signature Pokemon Whimsicott. We were in Division 2, but we made it to the championship and unfortunately lost. And then we came back for PWC Season 8 earlier last year, and we ran a great season with signature Arctozolt on a snow team. We got knocked out in the first round of playoffs, though. You can still find both of those playlists on my channel. Most recently, we filled in as a replacement coach in Season 9. I didn't upload it to my channel, but we had a signature Revavroom team that we took over and lost in semifinals. So I'm coming back with a vengeance for this season of PWC. I finally want to win one. I got that fight in me, and we also got a new team logo. We are the Kansas City Jirachiefs this season. Super excited to rep the Jirachiefs. We've gone through a lot of Pokemon logos in our time here at Radioactive Mayo, but I got high hopes for the Jirachiefs era. I think it's going to be a strong one. So let's hop into the draft. We got 115 points to spend on the draft, and the first round is going to be the signature Pokemon round. So everyone's going to pick a signature Pokemon, and we're taking Houndstone, baby. Houndstone is our signature Pokemon this season. I just wanted to get that dog, man. I just wanted to get that dog. I feel like Houndstone can be a solid signature because it can do a lot of different things. For one, it gets 2 abilities here in Sandrush and Fluffy that let it fill very different roles. For one, Sandrush lets it be an offensive weather sweeper, which we will be able to use. You'll see in a little bit. So we can run Sandrush offensively. Base 101 attack isn't great, but it's still solid and usable. It gets a decent coverage. It can run Terra Blast for coverage. And so, yeah, this can be offensively with Sandrush. We can even run Houndstone with Fluffy. That takes half damage from contact moves, so I can run Houndstone as a defensive wall. It can shut down physical attackers. It gets a lot of great support moves like Will-O-Wisp, Pain Split, Destiny Bond, Body Press. So, whether I'm running Houndstone as a Sandrush, fast attacker, or just like a fluffy defensive wall, it can do a lot of different things, and I'm excited to rep it as a signature this season. I feel like it can be pretty solid. So next up for the second round, or really the real first round, after the signature round, we're reaching into the high tiers and we're snagging Sneasler. Alright, I really wanted to get a top tier fighting type because I think fighting pairs really well with my signature ghost type, and I feel like Sneasler is just the best fighting type on the board. 120 speed and 130 attack is insane. It can be a great choice Scarfer, choice Bander, but I can also get really creative and run a lot of sets with Unburden, which makes it just a really potent late game sweeper if I can run some different Unburden sets. And even just Poison Touch alone is just great. Dire Claw is like a broken signature move with all of its percent chances, so yeah, Sneasler is just a great offensive weapon that we can bring most of the time, and it will always put on immense offensive pressure to the opposing team. So I'm excited to use Sneasler this season. It should be great. Next up, we have Excadrill, baby. That's right. You see where this is going. We got 2 Sand Rush users already in Houndstone and Excadrill. Obviously, Excadrill is an insane Sand Rush sweeper, but it doesn't even need Sand Rush to be good, really. Like, Mold Breaker is still a great ability on Excadrill, allowing it to hit Levitate Pokemon with Earthquake, or Unaware Pokemon after a Swords Dance, etc., etc. Just an amazing Steel type and Ground type, like, always going to be a good Pokemon to bring. It also gives us a form of hazard control, a great Rapid Spinner, very reliable Rapid Spinner. And 110 HP makes it respectably bulky too, especially as a Steel type. Excadrill is going to be great. I can bring it most weeks, and it can put in work. Fun fact, the first ever Pokemon Draft League that I won, I had Excadrill, so a Pokemon I've definitely used before, and I'm very comfortable using. I'm excited to bring it back. I know it's a great Pokemon. So, next up, we actually got something different for our 4th pick, but this Pokemon was our 5th pick. I'm going to introduce it next as our 4th pick, though, because we got Mega Tyranitar, baby. That's right. So, originally, I wanted regular Tyranitar. Unfortunately, regular Tyranitar got sniped in round 4. So, round 5, I went and took Mega Tyranitar. But, unfortunately, regular Tyranitar would have allowed us to run different items like Smooth Rock or anything else. But we have Megastone, Mega Tyranitar, and it's still really good. I mean, its base stats are off the charts. It's got a little bit more speed, so I can run Dragon Dance sets. Offensively, this thing is going to be a huge weapon for me. It gets Knockoff now, so I can run Knockoff Mega Tyranitar, which is insane. Just a huge offensive threat. I mean, this Pokemon is just so good, and obviously provides Sand for now my 2 Sand Rush Mons. So quickly, we've got a pretty solid Sand core. And only 4 picks here with the Mega Tyranitar here, and synergize nicely with Houndstone too. I mean, Mega Tyranitar gets a Spadef boost with Sand, and Houndstone. I mean, I can run Fluffy, and I can take physical fighting type moves that Mega Tyranitar 4 times resists. So, in multiple ways, Tyranitar synergizes really well with Houndstone. This thing's gonna be a really nice Mega. I'm excited to use it here. And next up, for my actual 4th pick, we got another Pokemon I'm really excited to use, and that's Hydrapple, baby. We are cooking this season with Hydrapple. I mean, I really wanted to get one of the brand new DLC Pokemon. And this one just looks like so much fun. I mean, it's a bulky grass dragon. I mean, 106 HP, 110 defense, super tanky on the physical side. With Regenerator, Regenerator allows us to basically ignore the residual Sandstorm chip as long as we keep switching in and out. And 120 special attack, we can still hit really hard with this thing. So, it gets Recover too. So this thing is going to be really solid. It also has a signature move in Fickle Beam, an 80 base power Dragon type move that has a 30% chance to double to 160 base power. So 30% of the time, it's just a nuke of a Dragon type attack. So if you look at my team, we have both Sneasler and Excadrill are both threatening both Fairy and Steel type Pokemon, right? With, fighting and ground, threatening steel and poison, threatening poison, right? So both of those Pokemon really deter Steel and Fairy type Pokemon from wanting to come. So that really opens up the door for Hydrapple to be able to click Fickle Beam, which I'm really excited for, man. I think this Pokemon's going to be a lot of fun this season. I'm excited to see what it can do. Next up, we had to get a Fairy type of our own, and we got Togekiss. just a solid, bulky fairy flying Pokemon. I mean, very versatile, well-rounded fairy type. Gives us another form of hazard control with Defog, which is going to be very solid. So, being able to defog, so we don't have to always rapid spin with Excadrill is nice. And this Pokemon is just very versatile. I mean, I can run it, defensively. I can throw out stuff like Thunder Wave, Heal Bell, Defog. I can also run it offensively. It's got like Aura Sphere, Flamethrower, so you can do a lot of things with Togekiss. I've used it before. I'm really excited to bring it back. It's a very nice fairy type Pokemon on this team. It synergizes really well with Tyranitar too, being able to 4 times resist those fighting moves and being immune to those ground moves that Tyranitar does not want to take. So, excellent fairy type for the team here. And then next up, to sort of clean up our defensive backbone, we've got a bulky water type, and we got Suicune. Not gonna lie, originally in my draft plan, I did not have Suicune anywhere on the board. I was looking at a lot of different water types, but I had some snipes in the draft, and when it came to round 7, I was like, I need a water type, and I saw Suicune was still on the board, and I was like, that actually works really well. I'm going to snag it. Suicune is just such a tank with 115 defense and special defense. It's very hard for opposing teams to take down, and it synergizes really nicely next to Hydrapple, because Hydrapple 4 times resists both its weaknesses in grass and electric. So yeah, just going to be very hard for opposing teams to take down Suicune. I'm really excited to get creative with it. I feel like I can do a lot of creative things with this Pokemon, and excited to see what it can do for this team. So quickly, we've got a very nice defensive backbone between Suicune, Hydrapple, Togekiss, and even Mega Tyranitar. A lot of bulk, going to be hard for teams to take down. Offensive weapons like Sneasler, Excadrill, but a lot of physical offense. I'm thinking I need a little bit more special offense, and I'm at the point in the draft where I'm thinking, what might this team struggle against? What does this team need to help round it out? And I think, flying types could be annoying to break through. They're pretty good versus Sneasler and Excadrill. Ground types, bulky ground types could be tough. So thinking about all those things, I reach down into the lower tiers and I snag Glaceon. All right, Glaceon is just great. I think for 5 points, it's kind of a steal. I mean, this thing can just click Freeze Dry off 130 base special attack for free, and that in and of itself is great. Having an offensive ice type there to synergize with stuff like Excadrill and Sneasler is going to be really nice. And yeah, that's basically what it does. I can even run it as a cleric with like Wish, so it gives me a Wish supporter for the team, which might be useful. But yeah, I'm really excited to bring Glaceon, and just having that ice type offense in the back is going to be very useful in some matchups. I feel like I always got to get an evolution. Last season it was Flareon, this season it's Glaceon. So I'm excited for that. My next pick, very interesting pick. We actually snag Indeedee. That's right, this is the male version of Indeedee. This is a Pokemon that I know is popular in doubles, but I never see anyone use this in singles draft. I hardly have ever seen it in singles draft, and I don't know why. I feel like it's solid. It's very slept on. First of all, we have the Psychic Terrain now, so we can set up Psychic Terrain with Psychic Surge. So we have Weather Control with Sandstream, and we also have Terrain Control with Psychic Terrain in Indeedee. And Psychic Terrain can do a lot of different things for this team. Obviously, Sneasler can run Unburden Psychic Seed, which is awesome. It also blocks priority moves, which can be very nice for my Sand Rush Sweepers. If I get my Sand Rush Sweepers behind Sand and Terrain, it blocks them from getting picked off by Mach Punch or Shadow Sneak, stuff like that. And yeah, we don't really have a lot of priority on our team to worry about getting blocked, so that's nice. And aside from setting up Terrain, Indeedee is a great offensive weapon on its own. 95 speed and 105 special attack is easy to overlook, but it gets really nice coverage between Dazzling Gleam, Energy Ball, Mystical Fire, Expanding Force. We can run Choice Specs or Choice Garf, Expanding Force, and do a ton of work in certain matchups. And even on top of that, I mean, it gets some great support options between Healing Wish into something like Unburdened Sneasler, or Healing Wish into something like Dragon Dance Tyranitar. Could be very nice, and even Trick Scarf, Trick Specs. This thing's going to be solid. I'm really excited to make the most of it and show off what I can do with it. So next up, we only got 2 picks left. I'm thinking we need a little bit more speed. We need a little bit more immediate speed to round out our speed tiers. So we only got like 9 points left. So for 6 points, I snag Archeops. And I feel like this Pokemon is a steal for only 6 points. I mean, its stats are off the board. I know it has Defeatist, but like before it gets knocked, it gets chip damage. It's so nice. Base 110 speed is really nice for my team too. A little bit slower than Sneasler, but it rounds out those speed tiers. I can run it with a Choice Scarf. I can run it without a Choice Scarf. 140 base attack is amazing. Even the special attack is awesome. I can run it Focus Sash, and it won't get broken by sand because it's a rock type. I can run it even like Power or Meteor Beam. A lot of creative stuff I can do with Archeops. Doubling up on rock and flying type doesn't really matter here because Archeops' defensive typing just doesn't matter. It's not here to take hits. It's here to deal damage. And as a fast flying type, pairs really nicely with Sneasler, which is a fast fighting type. So I think that pairing of Archeops and Sneasler is pretty nice for my 2 fast physical attackers. So yeah, really excited to use Archeops this season. I think it's pretty cool. Last up, we only got 3 points left. There's a few things that this team is missing. One of them is a fire type, which can be quite useful for certain matchups. So I reach down, and for only 2 points, I get Crocolore. Crocolore is just like so cool, man. I mean, when we're talking middle evolution starters, I mean, Crocolore is that guy. I mean, look at that sombrero. It's just so derpy, so awesome. Yeah, for 2 points, I feel like I can't go wrong here. It's got Unaware. So with an Eviolite, this thing's going to be bulky. So Unaware allows us to deter setup sweepers, which we need to be mindful of because, I have a lot of offensive options on this team, but we need to also be mindful of, people setting up against us. So having that Unaware as an option in the back is really nice. It can be very useful in certain matchups. And I feel like for only 2 points, it's a solid fire type for me to snag. So yeah, I'll definitely be sure to bring it at least once. I'm excited to use a Crocolore. And yeah, that's it. That's your Kansas City Jirachiefs this season. Really excited to use this team. This is going to be a fun season, I think. I think this team is very competitive. I think we can make a run this season. I'm excited to try out a lot of new Pokemon I haven't used before. Between Sneasler, Indeedee, Houndstone, Hydrapple, Suicune, Archeops. I mean, a lot of stuff that I'm excited to try out. And it's going to be a fun season, so I'm excited to share it with you guys. I got this new camera recently, so I'm no longer using the old webcam on my laptop that I used to use over there. So I think this is a lot better. Production value is going up this season. So yeah, I'll catch you guys in week 1. Should be uploaded in a few days. Let's go. Peace. Of course. Next question.
Coach Mayo, do you support Taylor Swift coming to the Jirachi battles?
Listen, of course, if Taylor Swift wants to come to the stadium and support her Pokemon, she's more than welcome to. I mean, let's be honest. Taylor Swift will probably bring more fans to these battles than I will. All right.